Ashleigh was quick to point out just how hard the rain was, and how shirtless I was. And with the rain now becoming a monsoon, hypothermia was an issue. But Ashleigh proved to be on the case. When she was originally captured, she put on every item of clothing she had so they wouldn't take her designer fit, which means she had clothes to spare. Personally, I think I filled them out better, but at least we were both ready to face the storm.
What do we do?
And the enemies that came from it. She told me I didn't have to take her boots too. I
need you to trust me too.
But they so would not have gone with the white fit that she had on, so I had to take them. Having only one bullet, we opted to jump down the side of the building from the attic. Ashleigh was hesitant, but had spent lots of times being carried recently, so she turned around quickly. Our reunion was ruined by the fact that we were in the exact same situation that we were in when we first met. With several enemies ahead and no bullets to my name, I decided to take refuge in the storehouse briefly, before pulling out the extra hand cannon that starts out in the storage box. I had to be sneaky, which of course is useless when you can't kill enemies from behind. And this is where I realized how much of a damn burden this Ashleigh is in comparison to the original. She's slow, and guns are way too inaccurate to safely snipe an enemy holding her, and stabbing them wouldn't be allowed. Even when I cheat and stab them, I make up for it like this.
Ashleigh!
The one-time penetration power works, and it's on the one person I don't need to shoot. Penetrating college girls aside, I realized getting Ashleigh through the hordes was close to impossible, so I made a decision. I wouldn't take the extra hand cannon, but I would craft ammo equivalent to it, but in turn, waste extra gunpowder making rifle ammo. Okay. That ultimately didn't matter, as I just ran through them all without an issue.
Ashleigh!
Watch out!
Ashleigh! Ashleigh!
Oh, Ashleigh. Maybe I didn't miss you. What is an issue was a request about a rabid animal around Santa's manor. I had a strong feeling I knew exactly who was in store for me, and I definitely needed to take him out, if anyone. Ashleigh wanted to take a break, so I told her to man up, and took my heel boots and scarf out of there. The Southerners seemed attracted to my early 2000s white girl coat and ganged up on us, but it seems that they're afraid of wooden doors and back off when I pass one. These guys are faster and more dangerous than the villagers I used to fight, but they can't follow me into other areas. I run and investigate Santa's manor again, and ultimately find very little apart from a way into the attic, thanks to Ashleigh's willingness to get on top of me. In the attic lied a diary about a troubled young boy with a grandfather succumbing to the sort of madness in the village. Suspiciously around the same time, an ironworks factory was built in order to bring much-needed wealth to the area. Could this have been when all of this started? 20 years ago? My pondering is interrupted by a shape darting through the trees, with a weird red nose. My concerns were validated, as it was clear that this big bestial threat was none other than Rudolph, Santa's last and brightest sleigh guide. He was no doubt here to shine through the storm for the Southerners and help Santa catch up to us. If I take him down, our escape might just be covered. I unloaded all of my ammo in him, and it did nothing but cause him to mutate. So I took a step back to reassess ammo again, and then I created what I call the system. So, The system. You cannot buy gunpowder or ammo from the store. You can also not break down ammo for components like gunpowder. So I figured, what if you could? I'm always carrying a surplus of ammo I don't need, and it's not even worth selling. So why don't I discard it all and give myself a fraction of the resources it uses to craft them? I was originally going to use a merchant overhaul mod to buy gunpowder, but whenever I enabled the mod, the game wouldn't start. So this is my backup. My rule was, whatever I discarded, I get half the gunpowder back that it would take to make it. No resources, just gunpowder. So I discarded 30 SMG ammo for 2.5 gunpowder, 3 shotgun shells for 3 gunpowder, 13 rifle ammo for 10 gunpowder, and 83 handgun for 20 gunpowder. This should net me a fine total of 43.5 gunpowder, or 44 to round up. I gave myself 30 and crafted one set of 8 bullets, which means, just to be fair, I gave up 6 gunpowder in the process. Now with 14 bullets, I moved on. The cop wasn't hard to take down. Just use their own methods against them.
They keep coming.
And thankfully, Rudolph was put down just as easily.
Target neutralized.
I snuck Ashleigh inside a shed while enemies waited patiently, and I picked up more handgun ammo for my troubles. I continued to risk our very lives for useless treasures and wasted ammo in the process. I learned Ashleigh is almost fireproof, but won't jump off roofs.
Ashleigh!
I gave up on the treasures and casually waltzed into the next area while Ashleigh spouted that this can't be happening, as if she knew what this was. I continue to find it hard to trust her, given her involvement in all of this, but it was my duty to rescue her regardless. I decided to cheat and knife a guy carrying her, but wasted an extra bullet as payment. Unfortunately, my life was payment instead, and I started to realize just how awful this game is with challenges. I wasted another life and decided to just book it. But not before Ashleigh gets herself jumped again, which is typical for the uneducated male populace to do when looking at a woman for the first and only time. Well, the assaulters get what they deserve, and we cross a bridge to a cabin with 2 bullets to my name. Before we get inside, Hadadong shows herself once more and invites us inside as the Southerners flock like vultures to roadkill. Nobody's more untrustworthy than her currently, so I try to get her to talk. Lame Ashleigh interaction aside.
Hey, I see you found your missing señorita.
Señorita has a name and it's Ashleigh. You are?
We all have names. Now then. Hide, now.
The time for fighting each other was later, because right now, it's game time. It's not going to be a long fight without ammo, however, so I tap into the system again. I discard all my bolts and mines for the bolt thrower, because I have genuinely never killed an enemy with it. You can check my challenges page as proof. I also dump all current gunpowder, all handgun ammo, and my large resource, and give myself 1 stack of 3 small resources and 1 stack of 30 gunpowder. I dump 2 torches. As a real gamer only needs 1 for his offhand. Give myself enough gunpowder to make another 8 bullets, and dump all remaining gunpowder. With 18 bullets, the cabin fight starts. Nope, wait. Had to toss 20 handgun rounds I could have dropped for gunpowder, but oh well. Now the fight starts. I board up the window with a bookshelf like a dumbass. and we take the enemies in the other two. The close quarters was good for penetration, as usual, and I pick up enough gunpowder to craft more ammo. I tried to let Hada do all the work while I stare at the work done on her, and damn, she can really move. Soon I pick up the boards for the other window, but that just causes them to move upstairs, because some planks completely stop the guys carrying woodworking tools as weapons. I get grabbed before the ladder cutscene initiates, which gets me out of the grab, only for him to grab me again before I am allowed to do anything in response. Well, if he can cheat, so can I. So I fought for truth and justice all over his ass. Also, if any modders are watching this, I beg of you to make more Sailor Moon mods for games. They're always so funny, and I am a big fan. Having enough ammo to actually participate in the fight makes it fun for once, and I waste some shots before realizing I shouldn't be careless. A party pooper joins the fun, but I say fuck the police, and Ashleigh's white girl senses tell us we need to book it before we're booked. After a quick escape, Ashleigh makes it all about her and coughs up blood, which is only slightly worrying. Hada finally gives us some information, which is that coughing up blood is a rejection of whatever substance was injected into her. Unfortunately, it's also what was injected into me when Hada and I met up. Hada said that she was under the influence of this substance long ago, and showed us her top surgery scars, saying that it was the only way to escape its grasp.
Wait, you too?
Now not fully sure if Hada's transformation was fully up to her or not, she skips off, leaving Ashleigh and I alone again. I pursued her for more answers, which was as fruitless as usual, but I did sneak well enough to see Hada interacting with her boss.
Fortunately, it's not done.
Albert Wesker stood atop a rock, looking down at everyone as usual, barely stooping down to help Ada up. They mentioned something called the Amber before walking out of earshot. I play with my jewelry for a bit and sell it for a high price before upgrading my gun and moving onwards. Realizing I was back down to 7 bullets, I dropped my handgun ammo off and supplies and gunpowder and gave myself a stack of the latter too. I gave myself a second stack of gunpowder to craft 2 sets of ammo before dropping all remaining gunpowder. With 23 bullets total, and the most defenseless girl in the world, I walked through the doors into another dense area. Just for shits and giggles, I kill all of the pursuing enemies with more shots than I like. But then when the last guy remained, for funsies, I decided to snipe Ashleigh without even killing the brute.
Ashleigh!
She'll walk it off,
Guess we're doing this.
or maybe not, as she gets grabbed immediately, and so do I. I just kind of give up by the 3rd try, but thankfully Ashleigh takes a shot for my amusement.
Ashleigh!
She somehow dodges some bear traps, and we book it forward. I notice how good I look in these nylons. So does this guy. I don't know how many more ways I can say I just ran, but I did, and I lock Ashleigh in a closet for good measure. I find a crank that'll fit perfectly in the way out, that some chicks with chainsaws bash through. Their faces are bandaged, but they remind me a lot of the 2 girls Ashleigh was with, Linda and Shelley. Somehow they were dragged back from the grave just to try and stop a guy they hadn't met from saving their friend. I'm grateful Ashleigh wasn't there to see what happens to her friends. My sympathy quickly evaporates, as I'm clipped by an attack I was most certainly out of range for. The next attempt goes swimmingly, and Leon utters the biggest lie ever told.
I am flattered, but I'm a one-lady type of guy.
We all know Leon doesn't get winning. Regardless, with the 4 best placed shots in the
Stay down,
entire run,
alright?
both girls are put to rest once and for all. And the exit is within my grasp. Unfortunately, as we're leaving, Ashleigh is within their grasp too, and I don't have the heart to tell her about the desecration of her friends. So instead, I spout off a line nobody would ever think to say in 2004.
Seems this isn't your first time running from creeps.
Because in 2004, there's no way a single man actually believed men should be accountable for their actions. I mean, this is the same time period in which the skinnier you were, the better, and eating disorders were absolutely rampant. As if any of that's different now, really. We have no time to lay low. As passing through a door, Santa proves he's caught up to us. There's no way I'm on the naughty list, so it must be Ashleigh. Either that, or he's just trying to grab her because some Redditor wanted her for Christmas. Well, he got her. Twice. The second time, I needed to take one more step before progressing. The third time, I nuke myself with a barrel just because I can. Or maybe because explosions are so inconsistent that nothing really matters anymore. I prove I can walk in heels better than she can, as my boots don't get stuck. But hers do. Our fat asses knock out a bridge that Santa could easily jump over, but he decides against it. I do another round of the system, and end up with 30 bullets after ditching most things apart from the rifle, shotgun ammo, and resources. I will not be explaining the system every time, just know that it does work. I am fair with it, and I usually end up with less ammo than I should intentionally because I am good at math. I was ready to move on, and unfortunately, I hear jingle bells ahead.
Be careful.